I've worked in the military, I'm a Vietnam combat veteran, I run a platoon, I've got leadership, but just having all those qualifications, you have to be able to work with people. You have to be their mother, their father. Everybody's got a problem. Even these officers, when they go out on the street, they have problems. You have to be able to address them. So you're not just one little figure as the sheriff, you're multiple issues and personalities. And you got to be able to deal with that. You're going to have officers who got a bad day. You need to deal with it. You're going to have officers who don't show up. You need to be able to deal with it in a professional manner. I've been around the business for 27 years, and I've got 2 of them that I've sold to my stepdaughter, which is an alarm company. When I worked at Fort Carson, I had one boss. So I got thinking, I'll start my own alarm company and security control company. Then I realized after it built up to about 1,500 to 2,000 customers, everybody was my boss. So I'm prepared for all you out there to be my boss. So it's not a problem, and I feel I'm experienced. I'm going to have a learning curve like any of these 2 gentlemen. They're not going to step in and it's going to be a learning curve for everybody. But I feel I've got the advantage because I'm a business owner, I manage budgets, and I know how to deal with people, and that's the main priority.
Thank you, Skip.
I can tell you that I'm probably no better than anybody up here. Each of us has got different education. Alan's got a lot more than I have. He's been in the program 30 years, and I congratulate him on that. Why would I make a great sheriff? Because I have each one of you people's involvement in my heart and soul. I believe in the people that, I don't believe that being a sheriff is just about me. It's about everybody in this community, and we got to share and be responsible, security and safety for everyone here, the kids, everyone, and there's a lot of work to be done. I've ran a multi-million-dollar business when I had my belt bonding company. I was audited once a year by the state, mandatory. They come in, we pass, so I know what the audits are. I know what the budgets are. I think that we've got to get our patrol, get some good team. We can do that by working together, but to work together involves the community. We need the community involvement to make everything work fine. And with that, I'll let it go, and so there you go.
Thank you, Boyd. Well, okay, Alan. What is your plan to recruit and retain new deputies?
If I had an answer for that, I would be selling my time to every other police chief and sheriff in the United States, because it's not just a problem here, this is a nationwide problem. I had an occasion to talk to several sheriffs and chiefs at the conference today. We all have the same problems. Chief Davenport is losing his officers, we're losing ours, the county is losing theirs. But really, I think what my focus is going to be is hiring people that want to live in this community. I would like to hire people from this community because we don't have that now. A lot of our officers that we have with the department and several deputies that we have with the county do not live in this community. I can tell you that in Canyon City right now, I know that we have 3 Colorado Springs police officers that live here. We have 1 Pueblo detective and 1 Pueblo police officer that live here. We have 2 Florence officers that live in Canyon City. Now, why do they live here and they don't work for this police department or the sheriff's department? That's it. Money and benefits. I would love to have those people working for us. The reality is that what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to work for a specific type of individual that wants to come here, live here, and work for an agency, and my selling point will be a more diverse patrol experience. This is one of the things that I enjoyed about working with the City of Canyon City, is as a road officer, I would take a case from start to finish, and in a lot of cases I would actually do the prosecution myself until our municipal court became a court of record, and then I didn't get to do that anymore.
Thank you very much. Skip.
All right, thank you.
No, different question. But a good anticipation, though. Different question. Are you aware of a murder that took place in Penrose earlier this year? And if so, is there anything holding back this investigation or crime investigations in general, to your knowledge?
Well, I can tell you, I don't like the way it's being handled. I live up in Deer Mountain. I remember the 2006 murder. I just dealing with the Dodd case. You know, that all got washed under the bridge pretty much. I spent 4 days in court listening to testimony. I was really shocked at what was going on. So to be able to handle all this, we're going to have good officers, good detectives, and make sure that it's going to follow within the guidelines to bring good prosecution. Okay? But it's going to be a lot of work. I mean, there's tracks being covered, but I believe a good hard, put your nose to the grind wheel can solve these problems, because there's always somebody that knows what's going on, and you just got to run them down and find them. And with my deputy placement program that I plan on doing, you're going to have deputies that live and work in the area, part of the community, and they're going to be there, and they'll be able to know who's coming in the county or who's coming in their city and who's leaving. And it gives us a little more awareness. So I'm hoping proactive surveillance and some grind to the nose to the grind wheel to dig up all these unsolved cases, because that's going to be my priority. I am going after them, and we are going to bring the perpetrators to justice. If I got to run 24/7 to do it myself, it will happen, and that's my promise to you. That will happen.
Thank you.
The Penrose murder, I can't really answer that because I don't have any knowledge of the investigation papers, the reports. I can tell you I knew the gentleman. I kind of knew what was going on. But where they're at in the report, you know, the detectives and stuff aren't allowed to talk to individuals just about their investigations. So until a person can get in and actually go to the reports and investigatives and talk to the detectives, then you know, I can't really answer where they're at in this murder. I know they're working on it digitally. I know too the detectives, and they told me they'd like to get more schooling in homicide investigations and that sort of murders. But right now, I can't answer that question. I don't know where they're at in that investigation. So, you know, my heart goes out to the family, and I hope they get it solved. But you know, without the reports, I can't answer.
Thank you, Boyd. Candy Cooper, how do you plan to address the law enforcement needs in the western and northwestern parts of the county?
What I'd like to do is a resident deputy program where we actually have the deputies that work those areas, live in those areas. That's going to require me to find the right individual, get them introduced into the community if they don't already live there, and find them a place to live. And I have a handshake agreement with Sheriff Byerly in Custer County that his deputies a lot of times in the Southwest are closer than Fremont County deputies. And he has agreed with, or has consented to work with us so that his deputies can respond until we get another deputy there, then we take over, and then I'll provide resources to him also, because it doesn't work if we take all the time and we don't give anything back. I did interview a young gentleman earlier this week that I hope will move to this community. He seems like a very nice individual, but I was very straight up with him because I said, I'm not going to hire you just because you want to do something. You have to be the right individual. You have to have the same ideals that I do as far as professionalism, integrity. He's going to have to run through the testing process the same as anybody else that comes to work for the agency, because I want to hire for quality and a good moral fiber and not just a certificate.
Thank you. Skip, same question.
Okay. You want to repeat the question?
I'll repeat the question gladly. How do you plan to address the law enforcement needs in western and northwestern parts of the county?
Well, like I stated earlier, I'm going to have a deputy placement program, and we're going to have quality deputies. I'm going to look for grants to get some deputies through school, and they're going to have to meet a high standard. The problem I see right now is we get them through the academy, and we turn them loose, and they don't want to stay here for pay. Pay is going to be a big issue. That's going to be one of my main priorities. But I'm going to have deputies that live, work in the area, and they're going to have a car up there in the area. and they can send their information or anything they do by computer to the office, or come in when they're off, when they're not working. But the main thing is proactive, to be proactive and have deputies live and work in the area. That's my plan. I'm gonna have two that live up in the Cotopaxi area where I live, so there'll be 3, count me. And the Howard area will have 2, and they'll be in charge of Howard and Coaldale and some Cotopaxi on the highway there and into the county line. So, and I've seen this done before, and it does work. The problem is you get deputies that they want to run from one end of the county to the other. Red lights, siren, and you're the people that are suffering from it, because I'm an EMT in Howard, and it takes an hour, hour and a half sometimes to get a deputy there. That's too long. That's not safe. When you call for a deputy or you call for an ambulance, it should be at your front door before you can hang up the phone. That's a little exaggeration, but that's the way I'm going to look for it. And you'll be able to have a phone and go to talk to his officers also.
Thank you. Boyd. Same question.
I agree with Alan, there need to be residential deputies, and we got six down, 5 down, patrol down. If we could do the hiring, we could put 2 up there right away, but at least 1. I've already spoken with higher uppers and from us commissioners and county administrator. We can put them in there, we can hire him and put him in. I've spoken to a deputy that worked up there once before as a residential deputy. The people like him. He did well, and he's willing to come back if that happens, if I get elected. So that would be the starting of the West End. That unincorporated area up there, it's a mess. If you get a deputy here that's got a call in Penrose, and he's got a shoot up there, skips right there running code, running red lights, if they make it up there. It may take them 2 hours to get up there, and they may not make it up there. They may get tied up and not be able to get up there, or they may not even get a phone call returned. The unincorporated areas in this county are so much different than the cities, because if you're in the city, you got Alan and his PD down there that's watching after you for your security and welfare. You get into the unincorporated areas and you don't have the protection that you have in the cities. People that live in the unincorporated areas live different, their concerns are different, and it's a whole different way of life than it is in the city. So, myself, residential deputies is the only way to go with that.
Thank you very much. Mr. Cooper, how many unsolved cases are currently pending, and are you satisfied with the legal help that the department receives from our district attorney's office? You're all going to have to answer this, by the way, so don't feel bad.
That's a catch-22.
I'll give you the short answer. I believe 5. No. And what was the rest of the question?
Are you satisfied with the service that the department receives from the district attorney's
I
office?
already answered that.
Is that a capital N?
No, it's lowercase n.
Okay.
You know, the district attorney does good work, but they have a different philosophy than law enforcement does, because they want to look at each case individually and separately. As an example, the last prison break that we had here, they violated a whole lot of rules inside the facility when they crossed outside. They landed in our jurisdiction. We dealt with that appropriately and placed those folks under arrest. But the way my brain works is everything that happened inside the facility goes to CID to work. I don't have jurisdiction there. Everything that happens inside the city limits of Canyon, I have jurisdiction and we work that. But that makes it inconvenient for the district attorney to prosecute, because they have to, in essence, try a case in the prison system when their CID agents bring that forward, and then have to turn around and do it when we bring our case forward. So we got into a little bit of a discussion, and we ended up taking everything, which meant that I had to send an officer, actually 2 officers, to do interviews with the inmates about how they planned the prison break and orchestrated it, and a lot of work that we normally don't do. And I'm out of time.
Thank you very much. Skip.
Same question?
Same question. Yes. How many unsolved cases? We already heard 5, unless you know otherwise. And are you satisfied with the legal help that the department now receives from the district attorney's office?
Well, I believe it's 5 or 6. I'm not sure. Last I remember it was 5, or maybe one more out there. I'll tell you what, I'm not happy with them, the way the district attorney's doing their job. Like I said, I spent 5 days in court with the Dodd case. I wasn't happy with what I saw there. So, I'm a rebel rouser. I don't take no for an answer. I want the proper law enforcement prosecutions, the proper prosecution after law enforcement has turned over to district attorney. We're not getting it. I can name names and go through the case and I go, y'all know what the problem is. There's no point in going through it again, okay? But my plan is I'm gonna get that district attorney in line, or he's gonna hate me. Because in the morning when he gets up and opens the newspaper, he's gonna see his name on the very front of the newspaper, and I'm paying that from my own pocket. And then I'm going to explain to the citizens that deserve an answer why we're not getting the prosecution we need. And if we don't, I'm going to have a big bold print. Maybe we should take a look at getting a new district attorney that wants to kick some butt and take some names and set an example. And I'm an elected official. You know what I mean? I'm an elected official. Now, what's he going to do? Come on, break my fingers? With the articles? No. I am going to have it in there. I don't care if it's the county commissioners. I don't care if it's the district attorney. We are going to get what we are paying for. And we are paying for a lot and not getting it. The old saying, squeaky wheel gets the grease. Well, I'm the squeaky wheel. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Good. The same question, yes.
I agree. I believe there's five that open cases. As far as the DA Moreau, I actually talked to her a couple of weeks ago, and I asked her why she was having problems doing prosecution. And when we go through the academy, we learn to do reports one way, and of course, part of hers is the budgeting as well.